All right, I'm back. I'll wait till some of you guys come back if you don't mind. Sorry about that. Camera issues. Um, camera issues. All right. See who we can get back here. All right. Hey, Dean. It's me again. Thanks for coming. Uh, yes, I'm in my basement. My basement, fortunately for me, I have a basement that's about 1,200 square feet. So we kind of have a lot of room to work here. You'd appreciate this, Dean, because this is kind of all my doubles right here, my duplicates. These two tubs have a bunch of jewel boxes in them, various sizes, 100 count, 5 count, whatever. I don't really spend a lot of time putting stuff in and out of jewel boxes, um, so I usually just toss them aside. A couple of cross posters there for my son. These are all doubles right here, all duplicates. So not as organized as you are, Dean, but I have a whole baker's rack just full of doubles that I'm trying to sell. Some are in binders, most are in 5,000 count boxes or thereabouts. So this goes from most of these duplicates are from the 70s on up to modern day. There is some sort of semblance of order, or there was at one point, as far as the labels on the boxes. You can see 80s dupes, 70s dupes, all that stuff. So I don't I don't quite have these organized yet. Mostly baseball, a couple thousand football, a couple thousand soccer, but mostly baseball and some oddball stuff. So we're going to move on to one of the display cases. Let's see which one we get to first here. Coming around the corner, of course, Eagles stuff. Can't help where you're from. This clock is set to 10:17 p.m. when the Eagles won Super Bowl 52. So we'll go low here first. We'll start on this little display case here on the bottom. This is an oddball You're saying no sound, huh? No sound, they said. No sound. You hear us now. You hear me. Dylan hears me. That's all that matters, right? Sorry about that, guys. Got a lot going on here. I apologize. Yeah, you can hear me now. All right, so around the corner, I showed Dean was here. I showed Dean some of my duplicates, which let me see if I can bring them around again. I know it's going to be boring, but this is where I keep all my doubles over here. So all my dupes are in here. This whole setup here. Of course, I still have some stuff in some binders. A lot of 5K boxes. There's stuff just kind of sprinkled around. This is mostly baseball. There's a couple thousand football, a couple thousand basketball in here as well. We got your usual junk wax assortment, but it's mostly stuff from the 80s on up to now is what I keep over here. So that's that. Sorry about that, guys. Thank you. And Dylan, by the way, thank you for helping rescue me with audio. I appreciate your support. Let's go to this case here. This is my display case on the down low. This is, I was pointing out before, I got my Maggie, my McGee, I got my Wagner, my Plank, my 52 Mano, a couple 33 Gaudis, and my 33 Lajoie. Of course, they're all reprints. I was showing earlier without audio. I got this in a collection thrown in where $150 or $175 on the back of there, that hopefully this guy didn't pay for that. Pretty darn sure that's not a real guy or a real Gaudi. So also on here, got some of my kids cards in here, some T-ball cards and stuff like that. 82 and 81 Yaz, they're still in their Coca-Cola little wrappers, 3-card wrappers. Got my Dr. Jim Beckett autographed card right there. There's actually another one in there as well. There's another Dr. Jim card behind that that's not signed. I love myself some Ty Cobb. I think he's both revered yet misunderstood. I'm Dylan, when you're done the book you're listening to now, A Terrible Beauty. Well, I'm telling you, you got to listen to that. You'll learn a lot more about Cobb than any of these other guys wrote. So try that. I have that's a real bona fide 81 Larry Bird rookie card. I tell people all the time that I used to rip those things, tear those 3-way cards apart. I'm sure I had the Magic Dr. J Bird one many times over and separated them many times over. So that's that. Early win, Red Man. It's the only Red Man I have, and I bought that. I think I got that on an auction on, not on an auction, but Cards with Story on Wednesday night on Twitter. Got that there. That's the Mark Jackson Melendez brothers card. Everybody got to have one of those. So up here I have my son for Christmas, I think last year, got me 1,000 download card. He made it himself and printed it out, threw that in my under the tree. I thought that was kind of cool. We're beyond that now, thanks to guys and gals like you guys. There's Mike, baseball collector, Mike Moynihan. There's the card John Newman made me for being on Sports Card Nation. There's some John Newman there, and then I have some Yaz cards that I've picked up probably within the last couple months right here. Just various modern stuff. I love me some Yaz. There's a cloth sticker, 77 cloth sticker. I've had that forever. I threw that in the middle of things. Some more kind of neo-modern Yaz. And then 79 comic and Kellogg's 3D All-Star there. I've had those cards for a very long time. So we'll move up to something that's a little less eclectic and might be a little bit more exciting for people that are watching and see what's going on. So next case here. This is the
the 51 redback Gil Hodges that Mike Moynihan just gave me at the Dallas Card Show recently. So I love that. Appreciate that. It's my only 51 Topps redback. Hope we'll get more soon. My Griffey rookie that my wife gave me for an anniversary one year. Don't care if it's a 6.5 or a 22.5. It's sentimental reasons I have that, and I love it. Don Mattingly, what I think is one of the these are two of the obviously the most iconic cards of the '80s, but Mattingly for sure. '84 kind of paved the way for the '89. So I kind of keep that up here. That's in a 7. Duke Snyder, 61 Duke Snyder, 62, 61 PSA 6 Billy Williams. I just bought a collection for out of that box I showed everybody earlier last week. I got a Billy Williams out of there that I swear that thing's an 8. I'm going to send that out. I'll keep the 6 and maybe sell the 8. I love Bob Feller's smile. I love what he brought to the game. The guy pitched for the Indians and then for a summer. Then he went back to high school, pitched for a couple more summers, then went to World War II. Guy would have won over 300 games for sure if he had not served for 3 years in World War II. These two guys here, these 51 Bowmans, 51 Bowman, Spahn and Doby. I had those. I bought those cards in the early '80s. There's a batch you'll see in here of cards that I bought in the early '80s. I recently got those slabs, so I've had those for. It's interesting. I had those cards obviously longer than anybody because if I bought those in the early '80s and they came out in the early '50s, and I've had them for more than half their existence, which is pretty cool. Over here, we got ourselves a 58 Al Kaline. We got a series here of 33 Goudeys. There's a Hall of Famer in there, Herb Pennock. These are also cards that I bought in the early '80s. Rabbit Marinville's in there. He's in the Hall of Fame. I think Bill Terry might be as well. And Cliff Heathcote. I've had these cards for a very long time. I got them graded because I've had them for 40 years, if not more, or thereabouts. One of my favorite cards of all time. It's the T205 Gold Border Christy Mathewson, and I think that's one of the most beautiful cards in the world. That's up for the Baseball Card Hall of Fame vote this year. I think that's going to get in, no problem. I'm sure many of you agree. Here's my two T206s that I've also had again from my early '80s times. You got Hunky Shaw and Jake Stahl there. I got those graded last summer. One came back a 3. Who knew, right? That's pretty crazy. And love that. So let's move up here. We'll go back to a couple Willie Mays cards. 59. That's a 7 PSA 7, and a 61 All-Star or MVP card, which is it's an 8 OC. These two cards I got in the late '90s on a little bit of a eBay buying spree. I don't know. I didn't know what I was doing back then because it was still kind of new to me, eBay. But as you'll see, I'll explain here. I actually ended up getting a lot of pretty good cards back in that time for not knowing what I was doing. 62 Richie Ashburn. Beloved Phillies Hall of Famer, and more importantly, I know him as a broadcaster. I grew up listening to him on the radio and watching him on TV. This is the only card that I stood in line for an autograph, and this was in the early '80s in Valley Forge. It's the only card I ever stood in line for an autograph until the Dallas Card Show a week and a half ago when I did the Whitey Herzog thing for Mike Moynihan. So I got a lot of Richie Ashburn cards, obviously. This is PSA 5, 1956. Another late '90s deal. 53 Bowman Color. That's an 8 OC. 52 Bowman. That's a 6. 52 Topps. That's a 5. So I bought these off of eBay way back in the day. When I say back in the day, I mean last millennium, late '90s. And they all have old slabs. They all have old numbers as well. And this fella here I bought way back when as well. This is the 49 Bowman Richie Ashburn rookie card. That's a 3. So I got that again. I got that way back in my early '80s run. I'd love to tell you guys, sound like I knew what I was doing back then, but I think I just got lucky. um, by buying some of these. Back up here, we got a Whitey Ford 3.5. That's a recent purchase. Probably in the last 6 months, off of one of the either Facebook pages or Cards with a Story. 56 Killebrew 4, same thing. Internet's purchase recently. This is the 60 Yaz, one of the 60 Yaz's that I have. That's an 8. That's an OC 8 right there. Again, late 90s deal there. Next to them, more horizontal stuff. Got the Jerry Kuzmin rookie. That's a 5. If you've watched any of my older episodes, it's a story about the Nolan Ryan collection that I bought, that I had them throw in the 2011 Topps update box, and sold the update box for much more than what I paid for the collection. Got this out of it, sent this to get slabbed last summer, and came back a 5. So I essentially got a free one of these bad boys. Mount Rushmore card here, right? I don't use Grail cards. I don't have Grail cards. So if you were to put me under torture and waterboard me, you wouldn't be able to get me to name a Grail card, because I won them all. But this is what I think is one of the best cards of all time, and obviously nobody really argues with that. So that's the 53 color Bowman Pee Wee Reese. All right. As I'm moving stuff around, I'll entertain you guys with some of these gems right here. Okay, we got ourselves the John Olerud. Carlos Baerga, who we all thought, or that's Albert Bell, right? Carlos Baerga is next to him. Steve Carlton, and a recent pickup, the Ricky Henderson. I got that with for $20. What is it, $20? I think it was $20. I got this with about 3,000 cards. That it ended up being a pretty good. On the way home from the buy, I was pretty ticked off. I thought I got taken for a ride, and I bought a $20 starting lineup Ricky Henderson. But it turns out the box had a lot of good stuff in it. So let's move down here real quick, if you guys don't mind. Carly Yastrzemski poster. This is I talk about the Richie Ashburn autograph. There's only really 2 autographs I care about. That's this one and the Richie Ashburn, because my wife got this for me, I want to say in the early 90s. It's a lithograph with Yaz's signature on it, obviously. I love it. A friend of mine gave me a Carl Yastrzemski ball. I don't care if it's authentic or what, but it appears to be everything's kosher on that. Of course, the 1994 World Series ball. This is a big time in Kin's life and my life. We kind of gave up on baseball after that. And so I keep that as a memory of what the way I used to feel about baseball in 1994. Got some junk over here. I got a Nolan Ryan classic set tin. It's embossed, and they're metal, and they're collector cards. Got one of those. It's wrapped. I don't have it open. Cal Ripken. This commemorates Cal Ripken. It's a 45 card set from various things from Cal Ripken's career. If you look on the front there, you know what's funny is I was at the game that he broke the record, and I'm like right back here over the fence. I'm the one who turned the lights on when they dropped the 1 down to cover the 0. So those are my lights, and that's my. If anybody was primed to hit a breaker that night, it was me, and I think I nailed it. I know he hit a home run. I know he broke a big record, but I was able to turn the breaker on without tripping it. A couple Yaz dolls here, Heartlands, whatever you want to call them. Missing a bat there. I've moved like maybe 10 times in my life, and I've somewhere that there's a bat out there for Yaz's trophy. A couple books I just read. Obviously. The card, it's about the Hannes, mint condition, good book. Here's a guide I bought at a garage sale, one of the Beckett guides. I bought the very first issue of that in the bookstore, and I don't know where it is now, unfortunately. So let's talk about this shelf down here, if that's okay. I keep a lot of sets in boxes, but I keep my older stuff, my 60s and 70s are in binders. So let me see if I can move the tripod around here a little. see how this thing works. Keep this thing down low. People pay me to do shows for them. You believe that? Cool. All right, so let's tilt this down. So 68, 69, 70, 71, 72. Probably about 100 cards away from 60. And I put cards on there, and I put cards on that I've had since I was a kid. So these are real beaters. But there's Jim Lonborg from 69. Tony Cloninger from 68. These are cards that I remember from a kid that I've had the whole time. But in there, you know, I'm slowly working on upgrading. Like I said, I probably have about 168s left, less than 10 69s, probably 30 70s, 71's done, 72 I'm down to like the low teens. These guys are all done down here, 73, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 79. I probably have about 6 or 7 beaters that I'm trying to replace right now that I consider cards that I need. But that's it. You know, these are the binders. We all love them. You know, it got them all in there. So 71 done. That's a pretty big deal for some. I had a pretty big head start on that because I've been collecting 71s for a while. Got some sticker books, hockey, baseball, 89, 90, 91. An old Beckett with Cecil Fielder on it. Top sticker album. These are things that I've acquired in collections. This blue binder has a bunch of old Becketts in it. 300 greatest baseball cards. I think I have about 100 and something of those. So I don't really, I'm not fixated on it like some other folks are, because I like to collect commons as much as I like to collect the other stuff. So let's go to the fun display case. My second favorite display case. This is this guy right here. So give me a second. I'm going to do something. I'm going to go hands-free here in a minute. I learned a hack how to keep just this one display case open. So stick around for the Mickey Mantles. Give me 1 second. All right, let's open up these guys here. Now I keep a lot of these at the bank, and they ride back and forth, as some of you have seen. I'll take them for a ride on the Jeep, all that stuff. So get started at the bottom here. 69 Mantle Yellow. That's a 5. That's one full hand worth of grading right there. I got that at the Dallas Card Show last year in 2021. 68 Mantle. I think I've had that for a very long time. I want to say I got that in the late 90s. Graded already. Old slab. That's a 6. Drunk Uncle Mickey, 67. That's a 5. That's another Dallas Show pickup. 66 Mickey. That's a 6. That's had that for a while. There's a 65. It's a 5. And I got that at the Dallas Show, or one of the Dallas shows. This is a 64 Mickey. I got that online somewhere. I'm not sure where. 63 Mantle. I bought that thing raw back in the 80s. Got it graded last year. Came back a 5. 62 is a 5, and that was from a late 90s eBay deal. 61 is a 5, again, late 90s eBay. We got the 60. He's a 6. And he was also late 90s pickup. 59 I got, I want to say either got it at the Philly show or the Dallas show last year. I'm not sure. This guy, I bought, for some wild, crazy reason, I bought that in the late 90s in 58 and got a 5. Got it in a 5, not knowing what I was doing again. Here is the 57. It's a little OC. Otherwise, it's in pretty decent shape, and I have to get that graded along with the 64, obviously. And I bought that at Burbank Sports Cards in October of last year. So Rob Varus bought it from him right out of his hand, along with, I think, a 58 Hank. Here's a 56 Mickey Mantle SGC3. I got that at a Philly show last year. And here is the 53 Topps Mantle. It's a 1, and it looks great, but there's paper loss on the back. So I don't know about you guys, but I display my cards with the front showing. So I'll take the 1 there. That's okay. That's not bad. There's the a dog food Mickey Mantle that's probably fake. Uh, 53 Bowman Color, Berra, Bauer, and Mantle. That's a 5. That's a late 90s pickup. It's a kind of a cool card. Mickey's really young there. Yogi's yogiing it up, and Hank Bauer is just being Hank. Here is the 51 Topps. I'm sorry, 61 Topps Mickey Mantle MVP card. I have these Willie Mays one over there, right? So this is an 8 OC. Again, this is another one of them there, late 90s. Ted Williams, steady ball game, the greatest hitter ever, 1957. That's a 4. Would you hold it against me if I told you that I forgot where I got that? 56, Teddy Williams. That is a 3.5. I want to say that was a Facebook or a Twitter purchase. Here's a 51. It's a 1. It's got a wicked awesome crease in it, as they say up there north, and I love it because I love Ted Williams. 51, Teddy's hitting the ball far away there, so beautiful card. Here is the 53 Satchel Paige. It's a VG3 from SGC Old Slab. I had this card, and I believe a 5 or a 6, and I sold it in 2008 for $700. Because of various reasons. I panicked. It's the only card I've ever sold that wasn't a duplicate, and had a lot of regret since then, but was able to get one back, and that wasn't too bad. I probably got this one back for about $700, so call that a trade, even though I downgraded by about 50%, so no biggie. 56 Jackie, I bought that in the 80s. Got that slab last year, 4.5. I tell the story of this guy here, the 50 Bowman Jackie. I bought that for $25, probably 1982. Got it slabbed last year. Again, had no idea what I was doing, but it was Jackie Robinson. And Jackie Robinson was just as important then, in 1982, as he is now. It's just about a lot of people. A lot more people know about him, right? So, yeah. So, going up top here, top shelf, Henry Louis Aaron, the greatest hitter of my lifetime. This was an old SGC slab that I bought in the late 90s, and it's a excellent to near mint, so it's an 8. I got to get that reslabbed, 65. It's a beaut. 56, another early 80s purchase. Came back at 2, kind of disappointed, but we know. I guess the corners are a little rounded, but I think they could have done better on that, but they didn't. So a 2 for the Hank and the Willie. The 55 Hank is 33. Is a SGC 3, and gosh, I don't know where I got that one either, but it was probably within the last year. Here's the only BVG card I have. It's the Henry Aaron rookie card, BVG 4. He spends a lot of time in the dark at the bank, as you can probably guess. Sanford Koufax, bonus baby, excellent mint 6, 1956. That's another late 90s eBay purchase. And there's the Sandy rookie card. It's a 1.5. It's a beautiful card, but it's got a little bit of a stain up top, which you can't see, of course. So yeah, that's the display cases, or a couple of display cases. I got one more around the corner I'll show in a bit here. But let's look at some more of this stuff over here. These are my, this is just essentially my wall of singles, no sets here, and pretty well organized. Let me see if I can get my stuff over here without going off air. Thanks for sticking with me. We got Dylan's here, Paige and Deanie Bean. Don's here. Hey, Don, what's up? All the gang's here. I appreciate it, guys. So there's some wax up there, unopened wax. I don't care. I don't really have the urge to open any of that stuff. There's also a box of Playboy cards here if anybody's interested in some of the Playboy cards from the early 90s. I think there's a Jeter in here, they say, right? But otherwise, it's just empty, or they're just wax boxes and whatnot. Got some wax packs here from various years, mostly junk wax stuff. There's rub downs, there's comics, there's some soccer cards in there, all sorts of crazy stuff. Let's get into these. This is the 80s. Okay, so I stack my stuff up in alphabetical order here. 81 Donruss Fleer tops, and we go all the way up to 90. A couple factory sets from Donruss Fleer and tops. 91. The 80 is over here. The tops 80 is right there. These are all complete sets of various years. I try to make up labels that show what's in there and all that stuff. Some update sets. Let's see what's in here. Oh yeah, here's the 81 update set. So got a lot of that stuff going on. More update sets over there. There's the 84 tops traded. So the score sets are kind of in the back. Who cares about that? These are sets that are almost complete, yet I haven't given them a label yet because they're not quite complete, so I put the little red dot on there. Up here we got some junk slabs. Let's see what I can do here. I've got well, these aren't junk slabs. These are some gifts from a random acts of kindness from a listener, Claude Humphrey and Larry Smith slabs there. There are some junk ones in here. Rick Ankiel. Oh, let me lower my camera, sorry. Gosh darn it. Rick Ankiel, Kerry Wood, BCCG, Fred McGriff. Who doesn't want a Fred McGriff 1990 Fleer slab? Troy Gloss. There is a 56 Bob Porterfield in here. That was part of a vintage break that I did. A couple tall boy basketball cards, just stuff that doesn't normally fit in elsewhere. I keep in this tall shoebox here. Now in my boxes, you look at my color coding here. Let's see. You'll see all this blue here, right? So all this blue is baseball for the powder blue 70s. Green is football, pink is basketball, and white is hockey. There's a couple hockey boxes down there too. So for example here, I have everything organized. So I don't have a lot of cards, but what I do have, I enjoy. So I try to put, I don't have all the labels printed up, but you can see here's some more 33 Gaudies, Diamond Star. I have a 49 Bowman, but it's the Richie Ashburn, right? A couple 50 Bowmans, 51 Bowman, 52 Bowmans up there as well. Redman's up there. Some more 53 Bowmans, a bunch of 54 Bowmans, and I keep regular cards in here. Richie Ashburn, Campanella, Bob Feller, all that stuff. 55 Bowmans, Campanella, they're in here. I just keep them, Eddie Matthews, I just keep them in these boxes. I know it's kind of sacrilegious, but I don't like to put too many things in binders unless it's complete sets. 52s, then we go to 53s. I got quite a bit of 53s. 54s, same thing. 55s. Oh, there's my Red Hearts that I bought recently, right? 55s, and then 56s. I don't have that many. Now, as we go along here, there's my 57 tops back there, 58 tops. I have a shitload, which is 19 or more 58 tops, 59 tops, and then we keep going, right? 60s, if they're not in the 68 or 69 binders, they're in here, and I keep all of these cards. I keep all my cards in penny sleeves from the 50s and 60s. You'll see the 69s aren't because they're all duplicates, but everything that's not a duplicate is in penny sleeves. Decal edges, love decal edges. The Topps Game, that's all there. These are all 67s, 66, 65, 63s, 64s. Goes on and on and on and on. And then I get to the 70s. I have a box for the 70s, and remember, most of the sets are in binders, so these are all oddball stuff like logs, scratch-offs, and whatnot. So Topps Minis, blank back discs are not in here, but I try to put some of that stuff that's a little more fragile, I put in top loaders. 77, 83, Frisch one-year winners, kind of an obscure set, but we got Eddie Goodell in there. 77 to 84 Golazos, Harry Heilman, and so on. So a lot of Kellogg's there. Same thing in the 80s. There's a lot of oddball stuff in the 80s. So, like early 80s tops with their scratch offs. So I keep all that stuff. I got an oddball for the 80s. I got an oddball for the 90s. And when you get down to here, a little further down here, obviously the junk wax era, these boxes are like filled with cards for sure. Let me see what we got. I know junk wax isn't exciting to anybody. But you'll see this. I'll pull 92 out and you'll see Leaf Black Gold, Classic Foils Bonus, 7-Eleven, Stadium Club, blah, blah, blah. I got obviously thousands and thousands of cards here from the junk wax era. And that goes up pretty much after the 80s. Every year gets its own box because every time you buy kind of a collection these days, you get a lot of junk wax in it. So starting from 90, remember these little bad boys, collector books. So starting from 1990, every year has its own box, all the way up to 2022, which is all the way over here. I'm not going to bore you going through all that stuff. Again, football green, pink for basketball, hockey is white down there. Now, some stuff that's hard to store, right? We have all these discs. I have a lot of discs, the MSA discs, so I keep them kind of in maybe Tupperware here. There's Henry Aaron. The Pepsi Glove discs, which I did an episode on. So they don't really fit anywhere other than kind of their own Tupperware, so I keep them there. Also, apparently when I'm in a hurry, I leave a lot of trash behind when I'm monkeying around with my collection. Let's move over to here. There's some more oddball stuff over here, if I can, and then we'll get to my favorite case here in a minute. Cards that I can't sort or can't find on a database. I have a lot of Nolan Ryans. When I bought that Nolan Ryan collection, it was close to 1,000 cards, and there was a lot of oddball stuff in there. Like 69 tops, yet he's in his Rangers uniform. So a lot of Fugazi cards. I have a ton of them. I keep checking back periodically to see if they end up in the database that I use, the Beckett database. I'll just keep trying. These are a lot of these are recent pickups. These posters and inserts, kind of hard to display, but I got a bunch of these top loaders specifically. Here's Bryce Harper, Kruk. Who doesn't like Keith Hernandez and Mark McGwire on the back of a Drake's box? Again, a lot of old Nolan Ryan stuff. Steve Sachs, Eminem's card. Nolan, there's the man himself. Carly Stremski, more Nolan. So a lot of these are the top supers from the early 80s, and then in the back we have those tops posters, football posters that I recently picked up. They're all in top loaders. Reggie Jackson, hobby box, something. Yeah, these guys, these are the monster top loaders, 11 by 14s that I got for these posters. And Rod Carew, Frank Robinson, Clemente, Bench, Messersmith. I had 0 of these before I went to Dallas. Now I have a third of the set. So excited about that. Other than that, it's just more junk. Here's some stuff that just doesn't fit anywhere, whether they're just four sport cards or non-sport cards or LSU football, Penn State football, the 1991 Hall of Fame set. I just keep those over there out of the way. And some more oddball stuff right here. Let's see here. As we know as collectors, there's a lot of stuff that just doesn't fit in places. So, I have my Venerlandis set, which has the Ali and the Pele. And then some more stuff like box bottoms and crap like that. All right, we've bored you enough. Let's move over to my favorite case. This is the studio, by the way. That's my desk. This is the only place I have in the house that was my own until very recently, until the kids moved out. So this is where all the magic happens. Perhaps your desk is like mine. I spend a lot of time with cards next to me. during teleconferences, just instead of biting my nails, I play with cards. Yeah, so that's that. This is that Billy Williams I was telling you about. Things are real beaut. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with it at all. So that Billy Williams will be getting graded, and hopefully go to a home where it's appreciated. All right, here we go. Let's talk about Carl Yastrzemski, shall we? He's my favorite baseball player, and I know he's not everybody's favorite baseball player, but I've never met anybody who did not like him. He just seemed like a good baseball player, right? So a couple Topps Supers from back in the day. Topps coin, which I told Mark Hoyle I lost for 30 years. I found that the other day. Decal edge, scratch off, post, Fleer, Topps game, blank back disc, and then we have like some 82 Topps and Fleer. The 82 Don Ross, the 81 Topps, the 81 Fleer, pair of 81 Don Rosses, so on, 80, 79. I started collecting the 8s in graded form at some point last year, but I got bored with it and started buying other cards. So I don't have a lot of Yaz slabs, but there's the 75 mini. That is in a 6.5. The 75 is in an 8. The 74 is in an 8. And then check this guy out, right? I bought this guy probably in the late 90s when I was real young, probably 11 or 12 years old, and I got it slabbed last year, and it came back a 7, okay, which is, we all know 71s are a pain in the butt. So I got that one. That's from the 70s. I bought that thing, and it came back a 7. 70, 69, 68, 67, notoriously a pain in the butt. 66, 65, 64, 63. 2 more cards from my younger days that I got slabbed last year. The 62 came back as a 5, and the 61 came back as a 6. So what the kids these days call collector's grade, I guess. I don't know. And that's my coffin card right there. My dad bought that for me for $25 in the late 70s, and never paid him back. I still owe, I think, $22 on it. That is the most valuable card in my collection, according to me, and I love it dearly. So that's that. Nice little 1990 Don Ross Yaz at an 8. Some Kiss cards, and that's that. So thanks for stopping by. Maybe I'll look at the chat. It's kind of rude of me not to pay attention to the chat. So let's see what we got here. Everybody's here, and I appreciate you guys showing up. I'm sure it has something to do with it's the end of the day and you're done working or you're trying to avoid work. So appreciate it. I don't think there's any questions. It looks like you guys just stopped by to show some support, and I appreciate that. That's all I have. If you're interested here in $4 worth of NASCAR cards. These are the last 4 I have, so let me know. I'll send you $4 worth of NASCAR cards from the junk waxy era if you'd like. So anyway, that's it. Thank you all, guys and gals, for stopping by. I appreciate it. And I've been wanting to do this for a long time, but the problem is it's been a mess, and it's taken me 6 months to renovate my collection and get it to a point where I can have company. So I just had company, and that's it. You guys are the first to see it. So appreciate it. Talk to you later. Be good to each other, and all that jazz. Thanks. Bye.